Hi everybody, I'm Brie.
And I'm Mike.
And we are Chaos Cruisers.
And this is our 2025 travel review.
Woohoo! Okay, so this year is definitely a very big year for us. First off, if you watched our last video, you will see that we have a GoPro now. So we can actually take real YouTube content for everybody.
Yeah.
We also have some really big things happening this year.
Really big.
We're getting married. It's going to be one of the things later on. And we're really going pretty far this year, so we're very excited to share with you all about what our plans are, starting off with our first cruise of the year. We are going on, drumroll please, the Freedom of the Seas, and we are going to do a 8-night Southern Caribbean cruise. This is Mike's first real Caribbean cruise, which is actually pretty exciting because I think you've been on what, maybe like 5 cruises now without doing a true Caribbean out of Florida cruise.
Yeah, I have the more like untraditional cruise background. First cruise being Alaska on the Norwegian Encore. Yep, on the Norwegian Encore. From there, we went to Cozumel, Roatan.
On the Prima.
On the Norwegian Prima. That was also incredible. Technically still a Caribbean cruise, but you know, it was definitely more adventure heavy.
Yeah.
And then after that, we went to Europe for 10 days on the Norwegian Dawn. That was incredible too. That was, like 10 countries in 10 days.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Non-stop chaos the entire time, but you know,
so worth it.
What's travel without a little chaos? And then we went to Alaska again, which was also incredible, as per usual. And also, speaking of that cruise, that was my first royal cruise, so this will be my second, so I'm pretty interested to see how this ends up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I'm excited to really this is one of those cruises that I feel like everyone has to do at some point. You have to do the really relaxing booze cruise where, you know, the whole entire part of it is literally just to go and be together and to relax and have fun and show you guys really fun drinks and fun excursions. We have some really fun excursions coming up in that part of it. But
we will be documenting the entire cruise. I don't know how exactly we're going to split the videos up, but we will be filming most of the time.
I think we'll split up by vibes. Just like
probably
the vibe of the video.
We are not also going to be the people to, you know, divide things into 16 parts. We're going to try to leave the videos into singular videos or 2 at best, if possible.
I think we should dive into a little bit more of the itinerary.
Well, actually, first, why don't we talk about the flights?
Oh, yeah. So, I got us a really good deal. We're going to be reviewing Southwest Airlines for you guys. Obviously, everyone's been on Southwest, but I think it's interesting to go to one of their, I don't know if it's considered a hub or not, but we're going to be going to Midway on the way home, and Midway is one of my personal favorites. I fly Southwest quite a bit for work and for other things, so it's pretty exciting that we get to go to Midway on the way home, and actually on the way there, we do get to see Nashville's airport as well, and we have a 3-hour layover in Nashville. We don't get to Fort Lauderdale until like 1 o'clock in the morning the night before the cruise, so we will be documenting our flights the day before, how we prepare for the cruise, and also just like a little airport review, a little layover, like how best practices and everything like that. So I'm pretty excited because these are some pretty big airports. I mean, Midway's not big, but some fun airports, I should say, that we get to review and have some good times in.
Yeah, for sure. The itinerary for this one, as we kind of talked about, it starts off in Fort Lauderdale. That's day 1, followed by day 2 and 3, which are sea days. That's where we'll, you know, obviously explore the ship. You know, take a look at what there is to do.
Relax.
And this is, like I said, my second Royal. She's been on Royal in the past.
I think this will be my 4th Royal Caribbean cruise. I've actually been on this particular ship, though. I think we'll throw up a photo of me on the Freedom of the Seas. But Freedom of the Seas was actually my first Royal Caribbean cruise ever when I was little. It was about 10 years ago, so I'm also going to try and go through what I remember personally that's changed on the ship and what stayed the same. So now we can go back to the itinerary now that I've dropped that. Sorry.
So after day 2 and 3, which are sea days, day 4 is St. Martin, which I've never been. I haven't been in any of these ports in particular. St. Martin on day 4. Day 5 is St. Lucia. Day 6, St. Kitts, followed by 2 more sea days, and then back to Fort Lauderdale on the 9th day. So a good mix of some ports, some relaxation. There's obviously going to be things to do, things we have planned. But a pretty good itinerary overall.
Yeah. What would you say your favorite one coming up is going to be?
I would probably say wherever that airplane beach is.
St. Martin.
St. Martin. Yeah.
Maho Beach.
I mean, it doesn't really seem like it's too exciting, but I mean, it would just be cool to be sitting on a beach and seeing a plane flying within a hand's reach, at least from what it looks like.
Yeah. For those who have been, I have tried to explain it to him because remember I went 10 years ago. I haven't been back to St. Martin since then, but I honestly am so excited to bring him there and just have the experience of us going.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. All right, so now that I've yapped for 3 minutes, what is your favorite port, or what are you most excited for?
Ooh, I am most excited for partially the sea days. I gotta give credit to sea days. I love them. I think a lot of people give a lot of hate to sea days, but personally, I think it's really nice to break up your trip with some sea days and also just to force yourself to unwind, because I am a big firm believer in the fact that if you don't take rest, your body will rest for you. So I'm excited to force ourselves to rest and completely, we're obviously we're gonna be videotaping and everything, but we're gonna have fun. We're gonna be completely away from work and cleaning and cooking and doing everything, and we're gonna spend time together, and I think that's really, really fun. But my favorite port specifically I'm most excited for is going to be St. Lucia, and that's because I have not been there, and as fun as St. Martin is with Maho Beach, I'm very excited for the excursions that we have for this.
So for our next adventure,
second one of the year.
We are going back to Alaska on the Norwegian Jade. However, it is going to be much different than our previous Alaska cruises. And Brie will be able to explain in detail.
The specifics a little bit more. Well, first off, it's going to be different because we're getting married.
We are.
We are getting married. We are going to be eloping in Alaska, which is going to be so exciting. And I will be going through how we got ready for that, and how we planned a wedding elopement, I guess, from across the country. It's genuinely like really, really far. Alaska is farther than Iceland and Europe is from us right now, so that is quite exciting.
Yeah.
And then also it's gonna be different because every other cruise we did was round trip from Seattle. Yeah. So we are actually going to be flying into Anchorage, and we are going to be doing a southbound Alaska cruise, which I am genuinely so excited for, because I don't know if you guys know the difference or not, but between a Seattle cruise, you get very quick little tastes of Alaska.
Yeah.
You are in and out within 6 to 8 hours. They kind of rush you. I think with Ketchikan that one day, they just had us in and out immediately. We only had time to go kayaking, and then they bust us right back to the ship. So I'm excited because this time what we're going to do is we're going to get married in Anchorage, and we're going to take the Gold Path train. It's about $100 a person, and they're going to take us down to the cruise ship. We're going to take it from Anchorage to Whittier. We're going to embark on the cruise ship, and then what happens is we're going to go to Hubbard Glacier, which we've never been to before, and we're going to spend the day there, and then we go to Icy Strait Point, which is another place we have never been to before, and I'm also looking at the itinerary, guys. I promise I don't have this memorized from heart. But we then go to Juneau, which I'm so excited to return to.
Yeah,
that
most
is
definitely.
One of our favorite ports of all time. And then we also go to Skagway, returning Skagway for the third year in a row, just like Juneau, and we go back to Ketchikan, which we haven't been to in 2 years, and like I said, we only got really small time in Ketchikan. This time we have almost 9 hours in Ketchikan. And then on the way back, we have another sea day / cruise the Inside Passage. And then we're going to go back to Vancouver, where we leave and we come home. So very exciting.
Yeah, for sure. And Alaska for us is a pretty special destination. It was our first vacation together. Obviously, it was not even to mention, our first vacation together, but neither of us had been there before.
No.
So that was also really cool. Both of us got to experience that for the first time, along with traveling with each other for the first time. And if you can survive with your better half on a vacation that exceeds 5 days, then they're probably the one for you.
Yeah,
so
it's a good theory.
So in essence, though, this is a southbound Alaska cruise. It's going to be really cool flying into Anchorage first, and just, we're going to be somewhere in Alaska that we've never been once again, right? We're going to be flying.
Towns.
And Anchorage is not obviously the capital of Alaska. That would be Juneau. But Anchorage is a place that is, pretty world-renowned when it comes to Alaska, right? People think of Anchorage, not Juneau.
Yeah.
I had never heard of Juneau before my first time in Alaska. I most definitely knew about Anchorage, so I'm definitely looking forward to going there. And kind of starting at that point, and ending in Vancouver, for instance. I've been to Vancouver before, she has not.
No.
I've been multiple times. I love Vancouver. I love BC in general. So I'm looking forward to getting her reaction of our, no matter, even if we spend a brief time there.
Yeah.
It's just a super cool place.
What port are you most excited for?
So I don't necessarily know if this counts as a port, because we've been to almost all of these places, but I am most excited to go to Anchorage.
Really?
To fly into Anchorage. Obviously going to Whittier as well. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Whittier, but it also is pretty famous because it has one single apartment complex that houses all of its residents. It's this giant building, if you've never looked into it before, and it contains not only housing for everybody that lives there, it has a school, it has restaurants, bars, all in one building. It's really interesting, and you can see it right from the cruise port, so I'm also kind of looking forward to seeing that too, as weird as that is.
Interesting. That is not what my guess would have been.
Well, first of all, we've been to most of these ports before, right? So of course,
Yeah.
I am very much so looking forward to going back to Juneau, for instance. I love Juneau; it's fantastic. Looking at the rest of it, Skagway as well, Ketchikan. Skagway it's fun. It's definitely a port that I would recommend, obviously, getting a good excursion, because if you don't book anything and everything's booked out, it's really just a bunch of shops and nice scenery. If that's your thing, cool. But it is, at the end of the day, kind of a town built around the cruise infrastructure.
Yeah.
So if you're going to get a local taste of Alaska, it is not going to be the place for you, and we would highly recommend booking an excursion. Kind of going on from there, Ketchikan, I'm also looking forward to Ketchikan for sure. But, when we think about the whole trip, I've never been to Anchorage. I'm really looking forward to it. We're getting married there. Of course, I'm going to pick that. I don't even know if that technically counts.
I would say it counts. It's a stop on our trip. But I'm going to go, and I'm going to totally go basic and just say I'm excited to return to Juneau. Yeah. I love Juneau. Every time we go to Juneau, I have a good time. We went twice. We did whale watching the first time, and we did the Mendenhall Glacier.
Yeah.
And that is something that in the future I think I'd be willing to go back to again. But the second time that we went on the Quantum of the Seas, and it was a crappy weather day.
Yeah,
it was not nice outside. However, we had the best time.
Oh, yeah.
We didn't have an excursion plan, so instead, we said, let's just go walk around this town, because there's a lot to do in Juneau. I almost said Anchorage, because we talked about it, but there's a lot to do in Juneau. Just from, going up into the town and going by the town hall and everything, and, we went on a hike, and we can throw some pictures up of us, walking up the little, I don't know what the bridge is called. I'm sure it has a name, but we found a little bridge that we had a really good time at, and then when the Alaska Brewing Company opened up, we went to Alaska Brewing Company. And every time I just go to Juneau, I just have a really good time. There's a really nice, there's a lot of jewelry shops there, but there's one of my particular favorite, and it's an older gentleman. He has the best deals ever. I love jewelry, I love rings, so that's always really fun to go see him again. And I'm just excited because I think this time we're finally going to be able to do the tram. We were supposed to do the tram last time. I didn't know the tickets were just up and down. And when we figured that out, we were like, well, I don't want to get stuck up there, and we don't want to buy 2 tickets to go up and down without preparing for that already. And it was such a crappy day that we didn't want to hike down the mountain. We normally would have probably just hiked down the mountain if it wasn't downpouring and freezing. But that day we were just like, I didn't plan for this, so why don't we just make the best of it? And we really did. It was the last day we had in Alaska in 2024, and we really had a great time, and I'm excited to do it all over again. On to our next cruise for the third quarter of the year. It is going to be Italy and Croatia, back on Royal Caribbean's Voyager of the Seas. Now, this is completely new to the both of us.
Yep, most definitely.
It's actually pretty interesting because I've always wanted to go to Italy, and this booking was originally a Alaska cruise, and we were going to go to Hines, and then something happened where it was the wrong itinerary, or the itinerary changed. I can't remember. We booked it so long ago now. But I ended up finding a really good deal on this 7-night Italy and Croatia cruise, and I was so excited. And what's interesting about this one is that my family's coming with us. Yeah. My family will be with us on this 7-night cruise, and it is going to start in Civitavecchia, Rome. We were going to fly into Rome from JFK, actually, which is also pretty interesting.
Absolutely.
We're going to fly on Delta, so we'll do a Delta review. Oh, no, we're doing Norse, actually.
Norse.
We're doing Norse.
Yeah.
I apologize. We're doing Delta on the way home. And then we're going to go to Rome, and then we're going to spend 2 days in Rome because we've never been, and then we're going to go to Civitavecchia. We're going to go to Naples. I'm also, once again, reading the itinerary, guys. I'm sorry, I don't have it memorized. Then we're going to Sicily, and we're going to go to Taormino, and then we have a day at sea, and then we're going to Kotor, Montenegro, Dubrovnik, Croatia, and Split, Croatia, and then back to Ravenna, Italy, which is close to Venice. And then we're spending 2 days in Venice to finish it off. And then we're flying on Delta back to the US to JFK.
All right, so now that we got the itinerary out of the way, what days or stops are you most looking forward to?
I am most looking forward to Montenegro. I have a very fun excursion booked for Mike, myself, and my sister and her boyfriend. So we're going to have a lot of fun in Montenegro. I'm excited for the history of Montenegro. I'm just excited. It seems like everywhere, I think it was voted like one of the best cruise ports to visit in 2024, I believe, 2023. Yeah. It's supposed to be really, really fun, really beautiful, very historical. It just seems like it has a good mix of everything.
Yeah, most definitely.
What about you?
So I'm definitely one for destinations and I guess you could say just locations that are a little more outside the box in general. You know, Italy in general is a place that, you know, millions and millions of people visit. You know, tons of people want to go to Italy. As much as I definitely want to check out Italy too, I am most definitely excited for Dubrovnik, Split, and just Croatia in general. You know, obviously Croatia is not a place I would really have ever imagined going in my life, at least.
Yeah.
Not to say that it's like, you know, dangerous or bad or anything like that.
No,
it's just not necessarily a place I ever thought I would go, and I'm really looking forward to kind of going into it blind. I don't really know what to expect aside from some videos that we've watched about it in general. And that's kind of what makes it more exciting to me. You know, Montenegro as well, I can lump that in, but I'm very excited for Croatia. Okay, if you've made it to this point of the video, thank you very much. We are moving on to the last destination of the year / the first of the next year, because this one falls over the new year.
Woohoo!
Drum roll, please. We are going to Bali. Specifically an 8-night Bali adventure holiday voyage with Royal Caribbean on which ship?
The Ovation of the Seas. So it's very exciting because not only is it one of Royal's larger ships, right? Because we're doing a lot of their smaller ships this year. We're doing a lot of small ships this year. So this is exciting because it's not only a larger ship for Royal compared to the ones we're going on, but it's also an exotic itinerary. Yeah. I am genuinely so excited and so happy that we're able to pull this off. The amount of planning that we've put into this already has been quite drastic. We spent a lot of time going back and forth on this, and if this is something that we really wanted to do, and it really worked out. We got a really good deal on the cruise, and we also have a really good deal on our very specific flights. I don't know if you want to give them the sneak peek just yet.
Yeah, so why don't we start first with the itinerary. For the itinerary on this 8-night adventure, obviously day 1 is going to start in Singapore. Looking forward to that flight. We'll talk about that in a minute. Followed by 2 sea days, so day 2 and 3 are at sea.
Gotta recoup after that.
Day 4 and day 5 are our first stops in Bali. To be 100% honest with you, I can't pronounce these. I'm just going to flash the itinerary on the screen. Followed by stop 6 or day 6.
Lombok Island.
Lombok Island, yep. Indonesia. Followed by 2 more days at sea, and then ending off back in Singapore. So our port stops in Bali on day 4 and 5 give us a good amount of time, a lot of time to be honest with you. You know, 7 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Every stay we have a really long time. And we have those extra sea days too. Like I said, if you don't rest, your body will force you to rest. And it's nice too because we have them at the beginning, which is really great for us to be able to adjust to the time zones because it's going to be crazy. And then also at the end too, which I think will be nice as well. Yeah,
I mean, we are flying technically the longest direct flight ever. I mean, I guess you could argue that Newark to Singapore is like 10 minutes longer. I don't really care.
We haven't decided which airport we're going out of just yet, so we might end up in Newark.
Who knows? I mean, Newark on record is like 10 minutes longer than JFK, but you know, who cares? Yeah. It's going to be long. It's going to be chaotic. Hopefully nothing goes wrong with our flights. Maybe we'll make a video sometime about what happened to us on the way to Europe, but
that we needed the GoPro for that because that was insanity.
Yeah, and that's part of the reason why our name on here is Chaos Cruisers, because I mean, like I said previously, what is traveling without a little chaos? Anyways, so it's going to be a very long flight, that's for sure. This is going to be 100% worth it. This is definitely a cluster of destinations that, once again, I never really envisioned I would ever go.
No.
And I don't really know what else to say other than I'm extremely excited.
Yeah, no, this was something that took a lot of planning. Like I said, guys, it is honestly something that is going to continue to take a lot of planning and a lot of our time. We have made a lot of tight decisions, and how we're going to have this happen, how we're going to take the time to make this happen. Taking this over New Year's was the best way for us to split up our PTO, because we are normal humans. Obviously, this YouTube channel is not huge by any means. We're truly just doing this because we enjoy this. Someday I would love to make this our full-time job, but I don't envision that ever happening anytime soon. So for right now, I am just excited that we're able to produce the content that we are able to for you guys, and also just really enjoy ourselves and have so much fun and do a New Year's Eve cruise and spend the holidays together, traveling across the world. Yeah, 100%. Much so looking forward to that. That'll definitely be one for the books. Yeah, I'm extremely excited. The one thing I also would like to point out is we are doing this, obviously, like we said, with Royal Caribbean. Now, Royal Caribbean is not a cruise line that you normally envision, I guess you could say, facilitating this type of, this type of itinerary. I definitely was surprised on that. Now, I know that, Royal is pretty diverse with where they go, but maybe not as much as some other cruise lines, for instance. Like if you look at Norwegian, they have insane itineraries. Holland. Holland as well. Princess. When you think of Royal Caribbean, not to, sound a little cliche here, but you think Caribbean, don't you? Alaska. I mean, they go to a lot of destinations that are tried and true. And that's fine. That's great, right? And I mean, some people love that, but I'm looking forward to seeing what the experience is like on a trip like this, in an itinerary like this, in comparison, because we went. Obviously not exactly the same itinerary, but when we went to Europe on Norwegian, it was very interesting to see because once again we were on an older ship. We were in hitting countries that were not exactly the ideal cruise destinations. Yeah, like Sweden and stuff, and they should be. They should be. I think everybody should be able to see the world and explore and everything. But obviously, there's parameters with people's time off and everything, and people all have lives, and not everybody is as lucky as we are. We're very lucky that we are able to travel just even the few trips a year that we get to do. So I'm really excited to be able to share this with everybody. I also wanted to thank everybody for watching this long. I know Mike did originally when we started this part of the trip, but we're both extremely excited to share 2025 with you guys and just see where it takes us. I'm genuinely so excited and so lucky, and if you want to join, I would love if you subscribed. You don't have to if you don't want to. It is free. I'm not charging you anything, but if you don't want to, I'll get you next time. And we will be documenting all of these trips, so please keep your eyes on our channel and take a look at what we post going forward. We're going to be posting a mixture of long form content as well as shorts as well. If you guys want to drop us a follow, keep your eyes peeled for all the videos we have planned with a lot of cool stuff. And thank you for watching. Thank you. Signing off.